Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about casting. We've done this a lot, but it's the most complicated part of fly fishing, and it's very kind of hard to understand. Some fast birds. Okay, so what people will do, which is incorrect, is they will do this floppy thing where it drops a pile of line. Okay? The correct way to do it is to get your point at the top, slide your pole in a straight line, and slide your pole in a straight line. So that tip needs to float in a straight line. The reason that we're going to do this is because when my line is moving through the air, I want it to slide just like this. Any amount of arc will whip the hook off of your lead, and it will flop stuff. Okay, so you might want to build a little bit of a pile of string so that you can feed it and get distance, however you want to do that. You might want to just use a short amount of string. It depends on how far you want to cast. So right now I haven't got a lot of string out on my fishing pole, but what I'm going to do, and I've got a little bit of a wind coming from this direction, and you kind of have to cast into the wind a little bit in order to compensate for it. So if I want to land here and I've got wind, I have to cast here so it lands there, if that makes sense. So as we're pulling this back, if we watch this, it kind of flows in a straight-ish line, okay? As I start to add more string to it, and I have to cast slower. So I go 1 1,000, 1 1,000, 1 1,000, 1 1,000. What's happening is I'm waiting for the line to get to the apex before I throw it back out. Okay? So that's the basic cast. It just focus on the tip of your pole, floating your line up in the air, and then when it comes time to drop your line, you will close your hands and feed it. So if I pull this up, when it's time for me to pick my spot, I close my hands and I'm going to feed it. Close my hands, feed it, and it drops right there where I want it to be. Now, another thing that I wanted to show you is how to dig your line out of the water. What'll happen sometimes is if you're casting upstream, you kind of get this pile where an eddy grabs the floating line and sucks it down. Now, there's a way that I like to use. I call it pulling a figure eight. All right, so let me build a mess really quick. If I've got a bit of a mess here, okay, and I've got my line out in the ground, in the water, and I want to pull it out, I will do a little bit of a figure eight, maybe pull back until it comes up on top, and then I can roll cast for a second until I get it out of the water, and once it's out of the water, then I can start casting normal again. Okay, nice and soft. So all that I did with that is I've got a pile, the eddy is sucking it down. I make a figure eight and it's dragging it up out of the water. When it gets on top of that water, I will roll cast, which continues to get my lead out of it until it's all got resistance, and then I can cast normally. Right now it's pulled in the water again. I can just reel it in a little bit this way, pull it up, and then feed it. Feed it. Feed it until I'm ready to land it. And notice how it just shot in a straight line to the point of where I want to leave all of my lures. It shot in a straight line to the point where I want to cast and catch my fish. All right, let's see if we can talk about roll casting. If you're in a position where you've got trees, you can't really back cast and you want to roll cast into an area, all that you have to do is allow the downstream current to drag your line tight. Okay? Once I've got a tightness, I'm just going to roll it over and land it. The stream is going to carry my line downstream again. Okay? It's kind of sunk just a little bit. Get it up on top. Now once it's up on top, you're going to see it go tight, and I'm going to roll cast again. Roll cast and land it. Try to keep it off those trees. Wind's blowing it into the trees. There we go. Okay? Just roll cast and land it. And I'm just doing that with a short amount of string. Now here, where I'm dug into the water, I want to pull it out. I'll do that figure 8. Maybe shorten my string up, pick a spot, and land it just like that. Okay? That's the roll cast, that's the figure 8, and that's a normal casting method.